Someone is feeling very, very tired today. Did we not get enough naps throughout the day, huh? Well, hello guys, and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today I'm doing a lemon wreath, but it's going to be a little different. And here is why. I got the sign from Craft Outlet, and in the little pictures, the little checkers looked blue and white to me. So when the sign came, I was like, it is purple. It's absolutely purple like my shirt. The dark little squares are dark purple. Purple and gold work really well together, so why shouldn't purple and yellow work together? For the loop wreath, we're going to be using 2 rolls of 10-inch Deco Mesh and go around the wreath. We are going to make this so beautiful, so elegant, and I think you're going to like how this wreath comes out. Let's get started. Let's go over the supplies for this wreath. I have been working on this wreath for so long that every day I added something new to the wreath. And today I decided to add some mesh tubing to give it this like fun summery effect. So we're going to put this in our ribbon bundles. And I have this lime green and this iridescent white. The Deco Mesh that I'm going to be using for the base of the wreath is going to be 2 rolls of 10-inch Deco Mesh. I have a lime one and a yellow one. They are each 10 yards in length. Usually we use a 21-inch roll of Deco Mesh for this method, but with 2 of these 10-inch rolls of Deco Mesh, we have 20. So pretty much the same thing. For the ribbon, I chose a white, yellow with some striping in there. It has green, white, and this purple that's going to match our sign. All the ribbon is 1.5 inch in width, wired, and 10 yards in length. To bring the sign to life, I decided to add some greenery. If you don't have lemon picks, just use any greenery, something that kind of matches the lemon theme or maybe the lemon leaves. I'm going to just use 3 picks, not too much because we do have a lot going on here. The sign that we saw in the beginning of the video, it is 12 inches in diameter. Then we have some pipe cleaners. You will need 16 pipe cleaners for the wreath form, and then I usually use floral wire that kind of matches the sign so it's not as noticeable. The wreath form I'm using today is the metal wreath form that's 18 inches, and I get these at the Dollar Tree. Now it's time to put our pipe cleaners on, and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either do the inner row where it's on these little intersections on rows 1 and 2, or you can do the outside row when it's on this intersection and then the inside row right in the middle. This time I'm going to do it in the center. I'm just going to bring the 2 ends together, and then I'm going to pull towards the center and then actually bring it together on row 1. And then I'm going to go on the intersection, bring the 2 tips together, and I'm going to do it at the center. That way we have a wide space with our poofs and we have room for a ribbon and all of that. The ones that are on the outside are going to face out. The ones on the inside are going to face in. This wreath form has 8 sections. So if we have 8 pipe cleaners on the inside, 8 pipe cleaners on the outside, total of 16. Some people like to hot glue their pipe cleaners in place, especially when you're working with 2 rows like this. But I don't do that because I find that hot glue just does not stick well. I don't know if it just comes loose during the process of actually attaching Deco Mesh and all of that, or it's just metal on metal because the wire that you're using in the pipe cleaner is of course metal. What I do instead of hot gluing is I just make my pipe cleaners tight when I'm actually twisting them in place, and that seems to work. When you're done putting on all your pipe cleaners, this is what your wreath form is supposed to look like. It's so big it won't even fit on my screen. Before we attach our Deco Mesh, let's talk about our loops and our size options. On the inside row, I recommend anywhere from 10 to 12 if you want like a nice poofy wreath. On the outside, you can do anywhere from 12 to 14. You have 10 yards of Deco Mesh. I promise you it's going to be enough even if you do 12 on the inside and 14 on the outside. I decided I want lots of volume. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 12 on the inside and 12 on the outside. That's just fine because on the outside you do need at least 12 to fit that in, but on the inside it's going to give you a little bit more. Well, what that's going to help me do is hold my sign up. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger. That way I have some deco mesh to spare for the back of the wreath to hold my sign in place. We got our board out. Things are going to get serious now. Let's start with our first pipe cleaner. Now I have my deco mesh. I have my green one. Then I have my yellow one. Doesn't matter which one's on top, which one's on the bottom. And you can also use the same deco mesh if you don't have a 21-inch color that you need, but you do have 2 rolls of the 10-inch. Overlay them and do the same thing. Now that I have them together, about 2 inches in, I'm going to bring everything together. Make sure all the edging is in your hand to make sure that you have a good seal, and then 2 tight twists. If you've been watching any of my poof videos, you know I sleep better at night when I zip tie the tail in place. Here's the up close look. I have my pipe cleaners right here where I originally attached. Then about 1 inch from this pipe cleaner, I have my zip tie, and it's straightened out our tail. It's not wobbling around. It's nice and secure. When this wreath goes to a forever home, you know that it's not going to fall apart on you. One important thing that I always like to mention is my deco mesh is always rolling onto the table so that our poofs are already made for us. And all we have to do is grab them nice and tight. And I said, we're doing 12 inches for these loops. How exciting. I usually do 10 on all my wreaths, but I decided I need a little bit more. Let's attach it to the next pipe cleaner on the inside row. So right now we're just attaching to the inside row, grabbing our 12 inches and going to the next pipe cleaner. I'm on my last loop on the inner row, and as you can see, once you have the deco mesh going the way you need it, look at this. It's just your poofs are made pretty much. We're just going to open them up a little later. But right now I'm going to go on the pipe cleaner that I started. Our inner row is all complete. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go flat. Absolutely flat. No loops, nothing. Nice and tight to this next pipe cleaner. What I like to do on 18-inch wreath forms is grab another zip tie, and I'm going to put it right here because my pipe cleaners are not as tight as when I work with a 14-inch frame. I like to make sure that when I put this on, that it's not going to pull this part over, even though I know it's tight, but I don't want to mess with that. So just a quick little zip tie as I'm transitioning here, and I know it's nice and secure. I'm going to stick to a little bit over 12. I'm not going too much over, and start making the loops on the outside and going all the way around. I'm on my last loop on the outside row, and what I like to do is measure it off and then cut off the excess. It's just easier to work with it like that. One more measure. And then this tail is going to go on the inside, not the outside, on the inside. Let me tie it in place. And I'm going to attach it to the center row, grabbing a zip tie. The size of the zip tie doesn't matter. I'm actually using the really tiny ones. These are 4-inch long. As you can see, the tail is straightened out and I don't have to worry about it. Next, we're going to open up our loops, but we are going to be very careful. And we are going to do this a little bit strategically because I do have 2 colors. So what I like to do is I like to work inside out, meaning inside where we have the little edging and where we have the green and the yellow. The green is at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my whole loop, so I'm not pulling anything, and I'm just going to pull the green one down. Pull it down and out, down and out. And we opened it up. The next one, I want the yellow to be on the inside, the green to be on the outside. So I can work from this side and just grab the 2 edges and pull the green one down and out. Very carefully, very gently, because we are trying to prevent any unnecessary fraying. And now we have 2 colors showing, and it's beautiful. Now, of course, if you have the same type of deco mesh one on top of each other, then just work from the inside going out. But here I want to do every other. Now the green one needs to go on the inside, so I'm going to do that. When I'm done with the inside row, I'm going to do the same thing on the outside row. I'm done opening up all my poofs, and I think it looks so beautiful, and it is ginormous, and I love it. Because I do want my baby base wreath to show a little bit, I need to make my ribbon bundles a little bit smaller than 12 inches. So I am going to be cutting my ribbon strips into 11 inches. Plus I'm going to have dovetails on the end, and my little background should show, my ribbon should show as usual. I'm going to zigzag my ribbon until I get 16 of these pieces. Then I'm going to take both ends, fold them in half, and cut a little triangle. Just like that, we have cut our ribbon at the same time making the dovetails. Two things at once, feeling productive and speeding up my wreath making process. Now the white ribbon, same thing, 11 inches in length, and of course the same 11 inches with the yellow ribbon. For mesh tubing, I'm also going to cut that at 11 inches. Make sure not to stretch it. Grab 11 inches and I'm just going to zigzag it just like that. Just grab the center and cut those in half. Same thing with my white, measure out 11 inches. My ribbon and my mesh tubing is all cut up. Everything's at 11 inches in length and 16 pieces each. I'm going to start by just layering my ribbon, finding my center, grabbing the white and the green mesh tubing, put it in the center, and now we can attach it to the pipe cleaner. A few tight twists, and then I'm going to twist up until about an inch from the connection, fold in half and fold back. 3 pieces of ribbon, fold in half, find my center, a green and a white mesh tubing, and connect it to the next pipe cleaner. As I'm putting my ribbon bundles on, all the ribbon bundles on the inside row, I try to straighten out because I'm going to push them and open them towards the outside because of the big sign that's going in here. All my ribbon bundles are on, but they're not open. We're going to do that at the very end. Now I'm grabbing my fruit and a little pipe cleaner, and what you want to do is kind of just weave it in between the branches and then twist it in and out with both of these going under different branches so we can lock it in. When you do that, decide where you want to attach, and I'm going to put the point on the inside along the wreath base just like that, and then I'm going to attach the pick with the pipe cleaners in the back. I'm going to repeat the process, putting one pick right here and one right there. My lemons are attached, and now let's get the centerpiece attached. Using a floral wire, you can cut 15 inches. I'm cutting more like 30 inches because this wire is soft and I usually double it when I work with it. For reference, this is a 22 gauge wire. I got it on an after Christmas sale at Michael's. 2 twists in the back and straighten out my wire. Now I need to decide where I want my sign. These lemons are perfect. I like this. These lemons are kind of going to be on this side of these lemons. I think this looks good. Giving the sign just one twist. Make sure that it looks good in the front. Come back, tighten my floral wires, and secure them in place. This wreath is large, so to cover the back, you either need to use a piece of fabric or maybe 2 pieces of felt. After you cover the back, now we can work in the front. With the picks, I'm opening them up a little bit, and I do want to make sure that my lemons show. And with the ribbon, we just open everything up. As you will see, opening these ribbon bundles will make a huge difference because the colors will start to kind of blend in. The purple will start bringing out the sign itself. It's going to look beautiful. On this side, I have not opened up the ribbon. On this side, I opened up the ribbon. Everything's starting to pop out, and we can still see our yellow and our light green Deco Mesh, which is nice because everything that we put in this wreath, we can see. I'm still working on the ribbon. I feel like the more I play with it, the better it looks. So I'm going to continue doing that. And that's it for this lovely lemon wreath. Work when this cuteness just kind of melts into me. So currently I am committed to 1 video a week, which is Wednesday, unless there's an emergency. And throughout the rest of the week, if I can add 1 video, 2 video. So do make sure you have the little bell on so you are notified every time I post a video. All right, you guys, I think that's it for us because he's just being cuddly, and I'm going to go cuddle with Mr. Louie. Thank you so much for being here. For more wreath tutorials, don't forget to subscribe. And of course, we have prepared 2 more videos for you right here. Go ahead and choose the one that kind of pops out at you and watch more wreath tutorials. With that being said, we will see you in our next video, right, Louie? That's right. Bye, guys. Oh, cuddle time with Louie. Bye, guys.